Mama, you're emotional, but what if your hormones are affecting far more than you realize? Have you found yourself crying over things that normally wouldn't bother you? Are you wondering why you feel so unlike yourself, even though you were excited for this season of motherhood? And what if there were a few simple, natural ways to support your body while your hormones work to find their new normal? In this episode, Mama, we're talking about the very real impact of postpartum hormones can have on your mood, your energy, and your emotional well-being. I'm sharing 3 natural ways to support your body and mind during this transition, so you can begin feeling more grounded, more supported, and more like yourself again. Do you want practical steps to rein in the overwhelm and start feeling like yourself again, but struggle with feeling hopeless, unsupported, and misunderstood? If so, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Stephanie, wife, mom of 4, and a 2-time acute postpartum depression survivor. I learned the secrets of how to overcome the feeling of drowning and fully thrive as a new mom through life-giving hope and support. If you're ready for validation, encouragement, and those easy practical tips, then take a deep breath in, exhale, and we'll take the first steps together. Here we go. Did you know that I have a free community of mamas just like you? New moms who are struggling to survive, much less thrive, and are looking for hope, encouragement, and validation? We share life together. There's a short weekly devotion, encouraging quotes, and so much more. There's even chances to win free coffee and prizes. Come join us at bit.ly/PPD support group. We'd love to have you. I'll never forget the moment I realized that my emotions weren't following any kind of logic anymore. It was a few weeks after my first daughter was born, and my husband had run out to grab groceries. I was sitting on the couch in our apartment, holding my sleeping baby, when a commercial came on television. I don't even remember what the commercial was about. What I do remember is suddenly sobbing at a commercial in a foreign language. Not tearing up, not getting emotional, but like that full-blown, shoulder-shaking sobbing. And the strangest part is that I couldn't explain why. 10 minutes later, I was laughing at something completely ridiculous. Then, by dinner, I was overwhelmed and irritated because my husband had bought the wrong kind of bread. I remember thinking, what is happening to me? Before becoming a mom, I thought postpartum emotions would mostly look like being tired or maybe crying a little more than often because that's what people tell you about the baby blues. I had no idea that hormones could make me feel like I was living in someone else's body. I didn't understand that after birth, estrogen and progesterone drop dramatically, some of the biggest hormonal shifts a woman will ever experience. Add on to that sleep deprivation, our physical recovery, the pressure of caring for a newborn, and all the emotions that come with being a mother, and suddenly it makes a lot more sense why so many women feel completely overwhelmed. The hardest part, though, for me wasn't the mood swings themselves. It was the fear that came with them. I worried that this version of me was permanent. I worried that I would never feel stable again. And I worried that motherhood had somehow changed me forever, and not in the good way you see in the movies. But looking back now, I wish I could sit beside that exhausted young mom on the couch and tell her this: Mama, your hormones are changing, your body is healing, and while you may not feel like yourself today, that doesn't mean you're gone forever. One of the most frustrating things about the postpartum season is that it's hard to separate what's emotional, what's hormonal, and what's simply exhaustion, because everything feels tangled together. And while there's no magic solution that instantly balances postpartum hormones, there are some natural ways that we can support our bodies as they heal and adjust. So today, I want to share 3 practical strategies that can make a real difference in how you feel. Not overnight, mind you, but over time. The first is to feed your body like it's recovering, because mama, it is. So many new moms treat postpartum recovery like they should already be back to normal. That's what we see the celebrities do. It's what we all want. I mean, if we could snap our fingers and get exactly what we wanted, right? But our body has been through something extraordinary. We literally grew a human. Then we gave birth to said human, and no matter how that baby comes out of us, your hormones have shifted dramatically. You're likely sleeping less than you ever have before. If you have another child, double that. And yet many moms are surviving on cold coffee, leftover chicken nuggets, and whatever they can eat while holding a baby. Your body needs support right now. Not perfection, but nourishment. So maybe you've noticed that your mood crashes in the afternoon. That's a very common time. Maybe you feel shaky, irritable, or like completely depleted by dinner time. Sometimes we assume those feelings are entirely emotional, when part of the problem is that our bodies are simply running on empty. This week, focus on adding support instead of adding pressure. So protein at breakfast, that is a big thing to include. Even in something simple like eggs, yogurt, or a smoothie. Then a water bottle that stays with you throughout the day. This was huge for me. When I upped my water intake, I just felt better. I was still struggling, but physically I felt better. And then snacks that actually satisfy you instead of just getting you through the next feeding. Those are often going to be a combination of high protein and carbs. And then foods that make you feel energized rather than depleted. You do not need to overhaul your diet overnight. You simply need to remember that your body is still healing, and healing bodies need fuel. The number 2 is get sunlight and movement, even if it feels insignificant. Now, this for me was easier after Hadley was born because I was literally walking up 5 flights of stairs multiple times a day. And at the bottom of those stairs, I was going outside and walking wherever I needed to go because we didn't take much public transportation. We only did that if we were going like miles away. However, after Brinley, Tucker, and recently Koa were born, we were living pretty much in the suburbs. But when your mood is low, staying inside all day could just feel easier, especially when you're exhausted. And a new mom is always exhausted. Especially when leaving the house with a newborn feels like preparing for an expedition to Everest. But fresh air, natural light, and gentle movement can have a surprisingly powerful effect on your nervous system and your emotional well-being. And notice I said gentle. This is not about bouncing back. And this is not about losing the baby weight. We can talk about that another time. This is about helping your brain and body remember that there is still a world outside the 4 walls you've been staring at all week. I remember days when just getting dressed felt completely overwhelming. So the idea of exercise for the sake of exercise sounded impossible. But there were times when simply walking outside for 10 minutes changed the entire tone of my day. Looking back now, I'm shocked by that just 10 minutes could do so much, but it's true. The problems weren't gone and the anxiety didn't magically disappear, but for those few moments, I could breathe a little deeper and think more clearly. So set the bar incredibly low. Sit on the porch with your coffee or walk to your mailbox. Push the stroller around the block if you need to keep baby with you. And stand outside while your baby naps in the carrier. Obviously, baby safety is very important here. But if you have those few moments that you could, sit on the porch with your coffee while they're sleeping or walk to the mailbox when your partner gets home, those are really small things, but they make a big difference because the goal isn't to accomplish something impressive. The goal at this point is to gently remind your body that healing often happens one small step at a time. Third, stop expecting yourself to feel normal right away. This may be the most important tip I have today because one of the biggest reasons postpartum moms suffer emotionally is that they expect themselves to be the same person they were before baby arrived. You expect yourself to think the same way, feel the same way, function the same way. But mama, your body, your hormones, your relationships, and your identity are all shifting, and they're all doing that at the same time. Now, that doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It means you're in a transition. Having a baby is a major life transition, and transitions take time. Maybe you've caught yourself thinking something like, why am I still emotional? Or why can't I handle things the way I used to? Will I ever feel like myself again? And those questions are exceedingly normal, but they can also create a tremendous amount of pressure. What can help is to try to replace those unrealistic expectations with curiosity. Instead of saying, why am I not back to normal yet? Ask, what does my body need from me today? What expectations could I release this week? And how would I treat a friend going through this? The kinder you are to yourself during the season, mama, the easier it becomes to move through it. And if your sadness, anxiety, or mood swings continue to intensify or interfere with daily life, please know that postpartum depression and anxiety are medical conditions. They're not personal failures, and there is hope available. Your body is healing from one of the biggest changes it will ever experience. Support your recovery with nourishment and hydration. Prioritize sunlight and gentle movement. Release the pressure to immediately feel back to normal. Pay attention to your emotional patterns. And remember that healing is rarely instant, but it is possible. If postpartum hormones have left you feeling emotional, overwhelmed, or unlike yourself, I want you to hear this, Mama. You are not dramatic. You are not weak. You are certainly not failing. You are recovering. You are adjusting. You are doing the incredibly hard work of becoming a mother while your body works overtime to heal behind the scenes. And while it may not feel like it today, this season will not last forever. I promise. Little by little, your body will heal. Little by little, your confidence will grow. And little by little, you will begin to recognize yourself again. There is hope, and I am living proof of that. Mama, don't forget to come join us in my Facebook group at bit.ly/PPD support group. It's a private group with lots of support, and I hope to see you there soon. If this episode is triggering for you and you feel you need additional help to process your thoughts or feelings, please call or text the Postpartum Support International Hotline at 1-800-944-4773 or visit them online at postpartum.net. You've got this, Mama.
Hi. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of my mom's show.
If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a mom friend who may be struggling to feel like herself and is in need of some encouragement today?
Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It blesses my mom's heart to know this podcast is helping you.
Okay, time to go change a diaper and do the school run. I'll meet you back in a few days for another episode.
Take care.